Hey guys, welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to install VirtualBox and configure a virtual machine that will contain a Ubuntu Linux. The first thing we got to do is download the VirtualBox. To download the VirtualBox, you can go to Google, search for VirtualBox download, and then you get to this page directly. Here you can select what type of host you have. In mine is a Windows machine, so I'm going to pick up Windows host. So you guys can click and download this. I already have downloaded it, installed in my machine, and you can see it here. You can see the application here. The second thing, what you got to do is you got to download the ISO image file for Ubuntu Linux 12.4. I'm going to install Ubuntu Linux 12.4 in my machine, so just search for Ubuntu Linux 12.4 ISO image download. You get multiple sites. You can go to any of this site and download the ISO image file. I mean, there are so many websites that you can download a free Ubuntu 12.4 ISO image file. I have downloaded in my machine, and you can see it here. I created a folder called Linux ISO, and I've downloaded 12.4 and 14.4, but I'm going to use 12.4 in this tutorial. So we have two things done right now. One is we have downloaded the VirtualBox, and then we have the ISO image file. The next thing we got to do is configure the virtual machine. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. For that, you got to open the VirtualBox, then click New. You can give any name. I'm going to give a name which makes sense, Ubuntu Linux. It could be a 32-bit or a 64-bit based upon your machine. I'm picking up a 32-bit. Click Next. The next thing is what should be the memory size. It's up to your machine. In my machine, I have like 4 MB of space, 4 GB of memory space, so I'm going to make half of it. Memory size determines the speed, so it's better to give a considerable memory size. Then click Next. Here you can create a virtual hard drive, unless you have something specific. You just click on create a virtual hard drive now, and then click Next. Here if you're not going to do something special, just keep it a VirtualBox disk image. Click Next, and here you can say whether it's a dynamically allocated or a fixed size hard drive. I prefer dynamically allocated because it grows as the system grows. So I'll just make it dynamically allocated. Next is the hard drive size. It's better to have a considerable hard drive size. The reason is we are going to install Ubuntu Linux on that hard drive, right? So what I would do is I would make it like 80 GB in my machine. So it depends on your machine. I'm going to make it 80 GB. Then click Create. So right now we have created a virtual machine with some memory size and hard drive, right? So now for this virtual machine, we got to map the ISO file. The reason is when it needs to start, it needs a CD or a ISO file to boot with the Linux, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change few settings. I'm going to click this and then right click and click settings. So if if you see it here, you could see the properties that we have already given. We have given the name, type, and version. Name is what we gave during our initial configuration. Then go to advanced. There are two options that's very important. One is shared clipboard, make it bidirectional, and other one is drag and drop. Make this one too as bidirectional. It really doesn't make sense right now, but once you have the virtual machine, it makes a lot of difference. The reason is you have two machines right now. You have your host machine and you have your virtual machine, and you want to easily navigate between these two machines, right? So make it bidirectional for now, and it will be really helpful. So I make it bidirectional, and next go to the system. You can save. You are given this is a base memory that you have selected. If you want to add the CD floppy, you can click it. um, then go to display. Display is I mean, these are all I mean, how your machine is going to display. These are the video memories or the monitor count, all those things, which I would just leave it as default. The important thing is the storage. So this is where we need to map our ISO file, right? So I go here, then I choose a virtual CD. This should really be your ISO file that you downloaded. So I'm going to pick 12.04 desktop i386 and click open. So that's it. This is the hard drive for your virtual machine. This is where we are going to install Linux. The first thing is we are going to start Linux using the ISO file, and then we are going to install a Linux version on the hard drive. So we are all set now. So click OK, and then you can go ahead and start it. This is going to take some time, so please wait until then. So you can see Ubuntu 12.04 is starting right now in your VirtualBox. Make it a little bit bigger. So as I mentioned earlier, right now we are starting a Linux version using the ISO CD, and then we are going. The second part of it is to install Ubuntu Linux on the virtual machine hard drive. So the first part is done, and we are going to do the next part, which is to install the Linux on the hard drive. So you see Ubuntu Linux is starting right now. Okay, this is where you get two options. One is to install Ubuntu and try Ubuntu. If you try Ubuntu, it's going to ask you to load a CD. So we will just go ahead and install Ubuntu on the hard drive. It's going to take some time. This process is slow. It depends on your machine size and capabilities. So it says like it needs to have at least a 4.6 GB of space drive, and I'm going to go ahead and click continue. So this is a default option, erase disk and install Ubuntu. I don't have anything on my machine right now, on my virtual machine right now, so I'm going to install Ubuntu directly. And I'm going to install Ubuntu on the hard drive. It's installing right now. It's going to take some time, so we got to be patient here. Click your time zone. I'm in New York, so I'll just say continue. Select your language, English. You can have a username. I'm just going to give my username as tutorial and pick a password. You can secure it to log in automatically or require my password to log in. I'm just going to set it to log in automatically. I have more control over my machine, and then click continue. All right, guys, I think you had a good 5-minute break. So our installation is complete. We are going to restart now. So Ubuntu is installed within our machine, and it's trying to restart it. So yes, we are all set. We have installed Ubuntu desktop. We don't need the ISO image hereafter. So what we did right now was we installed we configured a virtual machine, and we installed the Ubuntu Linux. So if you want to see the files, you can go to your users directory, and there should be a folder called virtualbox VM, and this is the folder. This is your this is a folder related to your VirtualBox, uh, and this is where your Ubuntu Linux is installed. So next time, if you can power it off, and if you restart it, what it's going to do is it's going to run your Linux from the folder whatever I mentioned. Thanks for watching this video, guys. You can watch my other videos. Thank you. Bye bye.